believe I've had this bad boy weeks. Qanba Q8 RAF. This is a PC only. I've said it 1,000 times. This is a PC only stick. Does not have easy access to the buttons or internals. You gotta pop open screws on the back, boom, and you can get into it. I've already voided my warranty. I got into the back of it to do a few things. The stick stock is 8.3 pounds, right? To change out the lever, and I'm sorry, not the lever, to change out the bat top, gas cover, and dust washer, you actually don't have to open the stick. You can use this. This actually turns into your flathead. This is a little flathead screwdriver, so that's not an issue. But getting into the stick, there's two really thick metal plates in here. That is almost all of the weight. You see how now I'm just holding this like no biggie, one-handed. And the reason why is because I took out those metal plates. I can show you guys here in a second. I believe I have access to them. They shouldn't be too far. So without the metal plates, this stick is a lot lighter, but also feels a lot less $200. I don't think that I would say it's not a $200 stick because it still has really, really good buttons and a really good lever. These Qanba KS buttons, honestly, other than the fact that I can't hear it, I don't feel a difference between these and Sanwas. For a very long time, I thought, silent buttons just can't feel like regular arcade push buttons. They just can't. Like, it's impossible. They're silent. No, it's impossible. You can't make it happen. These buttons, other than not hearing them, they feel like a traditional arcade button, which is really cool. I think that's one of the best features of this stick, at least the highest end one, the $200 one, that you're getting these silent parts that feel like good quality arcade parts. The lever is a little different because the clicks that happen from a Sanwa lever actually kind of mean something. Like, they're a lot harder to it might be a lot harder to realize that you're hitting each switch. I've been playing on lever for a long time. Doesn't really hurt me too much, especially because this is a square gate, but optional. Let's come in the circle gate for you circle gate weirdos. It's pretty easy to put on. As soon as you take off the inside, you have access to all the internals. There's actually a lot of room in here for extra PCBs if you're trying to do some sort of dual modding thing, or if you're trying to change out the PCB for a Brook PCB so you can play on consoles without needing a converter. But yeah, this stick is actually a lot lighter and a lot less cumbersome when you take out the metal plates. And let me show you guys the metal plates. When I say that these metal plates literally feel heavier than the arcade stick itself, and that's not a joke. There's two metal plates. I believe actually the functionality, because there's a few screws, as you see all the little holes. Let me just pick up. I see all the small holes right in the middle, and then there's one on each corner. Yeah, I know it's a little hard to hear me and a little hard to see me. I was under the thing. Anyways, those little screws actually hold down the screws, or those little holes hold down the screws that bolt this to the base of the arcade stick. And I think the functionality of these, for anyone who's wondering, is actually that you can do one, two, same bolt, because these are stacked on top of each other. When I pulled them out, both of them came out. I was like, whoa, there's two. Or you can do none, right? So depending on how much weight you want in your arcade stick, you basically get free weights. That's so cool. I'm gonna try it for a week, maybe 2 weeks with none in it, maybe a month with no weights in it, and then I'll try one, and I'll decide if I want to do 1, 2, or 3. And I think the functionality of having the modality of being able to choose the weight for your arcade stick is really cool. At first I was like, whoa, without these weights in it, this doesn't feel like $200. But the fact that you can actually choose, a lot of arcade sticks, they're just heavy or they're just light. And there's nothing you can do about it without adding your own additional weights, which cost more money. These come with your arcade stick. That's actually kind of sweet. That's kind of cool. Like, at first I was very upset that all the weight came from these metal plates at first. And then it dawned on me that if you don't want a weighty stick, you just take them out, and it makes for a way lighter stick, makes for a way easier travel experience. You're not carrying around something the weight of like the Hori Fighting Edge back there, or the Qanba Obsidian 1, right? You're not carrying around a super heavy, big stick, a big, bulky stick. This thing feels like it's probably like 5 pounds, right? Almost the weight, maybe only slightly over the weight of like the Qanba Carbon, right? Or the TES Plus, right? This thing does not feel super heavy anymore. And as odd as it is, I kind of like it this way. Last thing I wanted to talk about on the arcade stick, because I already talked about the buttons, I talked about the weight, how you can add modality to the weight. One sec. The last thing I want to talk about is the lever. Lever. I think I talked about it briefly. I just said that, not being able to feel the directions, not being able to feel each click on the directions, because these are silent armor-on switches instead of being standard zippy or whatever kind of switches Son can use. I have zero clue, man. Don't ask me. I'm not a fucking switch technician. Anyways, the lever comes with a standard 1 pound spring. So it's going to feel very similar and move very similar to something like or Hayabusa or Sanwa JLF. What I've researched but haven't been able to put into practice, I need to buy a spring to double check, that this is basically the same housing, like very similar-ish housing to a Sanwa lever, which is why they made it to feel so similar, so that it would just be a quiet version of a Sanwa lever, but Qanba branded. Which means, if you know of any springs that would work for a Sanwa lever to reduce tension to 0.5 or increase tension all the way up to 4 or 5 pounds, depending on what you're looking for, you should be able to do it just fine by taking out the E-clip, the spring, putting the spring back on, putting the E-clip back on, bolting it back down, or I guess pliering it back down, like using a pair of needle nose pliers or something. And you can change the tension on this. I plan on trying it. Haven't got around to it just yet. I hate ordering 1 or 2 parts from Arcade Shock or Focus Attack or wherever, Paradise Arcade. I like to order multiple things, so when I get around to maybe messing with one of our arcade sticks and showing it off at the same time, showing like a quick arcade modding video, because I've never actually showed how to mod an arcade stick on my channel. Kind of weird for how often I talk about arcade sticks. Maybe we'll also get into this, boom, do the E-clamp stuff, since I do have the double camera. No cat cam that day, maybe no face cam that day. My face isn't important, the cats are though. So yeah, just a quick little addendum video, a little extra add-on talking more about this arcade stick. I really do like it. I think for the $200 price tag that I paid for it, wouldn't change anything about it. I am personally, once again, a PC player, so the fact that it has PCD, PCX, that's all I need. I don't really need it for a console. If you're looking for a console stick, there's only one at exactly $200 anyway, and that's the Fighting Stick Alpha, right? That's my go-to PS5 arcade stick. I'm not going to buy an Obsidian 2. I don't think so. If Qanba wants to send me one and I'll review it, cool. But from what I've seen, doesn't look like it's something that I'm going to put $300 into for the sake of review. We might hit you guys with a Qanba Drone 2 review at some point once I have a little extra funds, but this is what I'm going to be rocking with for the foreseeable future, probably for even the first full year of Street Fighter 6 for sure. Anyways, this has been PD Thuggish, talking more about the Qanba Q8 RAF, signing out and saying, ow, I hit my headphone. Peace.